the mistake I made that a lot of investors make is I had W-2 income. My idea was work towards pensions. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to work towards pensions anymore. And I'm going to try to replace my W-2 income, which I did. And I thought I would do it with no education. Just jump right in. Like, if you want to go to college to get a degree to work in a field, it takes years. If you want to join the Marine Corps, it's 13-week boot camp and a 6-month academy to become a police officer. But I thought real estate, I'll just go buy something. And so I rented my house out without a lease, with a handshake, to someone I knew, because you can't trust a stranger. Like, I made every list of mistakes that you can make as an investor. And then I realized what was wrong. That first year was really bad. But I found books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, One Rental at a Time by Michael Zuber, and communities like Bigger Pockets and podcasts like this, where people are sharing their stories and how this all works. Like, I've learned a lot watching podcasts about how an agent should do their job or how a lender does their job. So what matters to them has made it easier for me to interact with them. So the timeline, at about the 5-year mark, since we were allowed to have 4 mortgages, I focused and funneled all the cash flow, anything from overtime. I started to make more money at the truck driving school. I had a couple of silly side hustles. Like, there's a game called World of Warcraft, which is an online game that makes me a nerd.
Oh yeah.
Like the map behind me. But I was playing the game and selling things on eBay. And that was a side hustle. I was making $300 to $500 a month playing an online game. But I funneled all that money and paid off one of the mortgages, because my goal was, if they limit us to 4, I'll pay one off and then I'll buy another rental. So as soon as I paid the house off, which greatly increased the cash flow from that property, it's now a paid off single family. It's my only single family, rented to a Section 8 tenant at $2,200 a month. So it's cash flowing really well. Then they raised the limit of mortgages. 2 things happened. Mortgages increased to 10 in your name, and interest rates went from above 6% down to, I was getting 5s in around 2016, 17. To me, that sounded great, because it had come down from, I think I had 8 or 9% on my single family house. So now my goal was to get to 10 mortgages in my name, and then probably stop and retire. But I'm only at 6. I have 7 properties with 16 units. And here's the numbers for the math people that are watching. I'm very transparent. I just share on my YouTube channel. I literally bring up spreadsheets. Here's the income. Here's the expenses. Cash flow, pure cash flow. So setting aside for paying principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, setting aside 15%. So 10 for maintenance and repairs, 5% for vacancy. And then I self-manage, so I don't set aside for that, is $14,000 a month off of 7 properties. So it doesn't take 100 units. It doesn't take 100 properties. 7 properties with 16 units. I've done some things to improve cash flow, like in 2020 when interest rates dropped to 3%. I refinanced over half my portfolio.
Everything, I hope.
pretty much everything. Anything that was above 4% got a new rate. The ones there got one at 4 that I didn't touch. And then there are things we can do to increase the rent. One of the things that makes my strategy very successful and simple is I found all my deals on the MLS. So I'm not using seller financing. I'm not using creative driving for dollars or sending mailers. I literally have got auto searches set up on the MLS. I've used traditional lending. These are all conventional loans. Some were from Wells Fargo, then went to Guild Mortgage, and I've hunted around for lenders. So there's no secret sauce. It's just slow, rinse and repeat, save a down payment, buy a rental, 1 rental at a time, literally like out of the playbook from 1 rental at a time. This talks about getting to 4 properties, your life changes. I totally agree with that. And with the cash flow of my current rentals, I was able to actually turn in my retirement yesterday. And a lot of people talk about, the stress of leaving the W-2, knowing you don't have that income. And I don't suggest doing that until you have several years of rental income on your tax return so that you're still bankable to get the next mortgage. But I had no worries about income because I have a diversified portfolio. My properties are more than 10 miles apart, close to different economic drivers like the base, the port, college, hospitals, different sources of tenants. I diversify the tenant base. I have about 1/3 military, 1/3 Section 8, 1/3 working or retired. So literally the type of tenants that I have are even diversified. So money isn't a concern. Healthcare is not a concern. A lot of people think I can't retire because I need to get healthcare. Well, you're paying for it now. You're paying your portion and the employer's paying the other portion. When you retire, you just pay both of those. So you need an asset. I have a duplex that I call the vehicle duplex. Then I have the healthcare duplex, and then I have the food and travel duplex. So Bye.